What do you think?
I think we're dead meat. Real dead meat.
You're dead meat! Go ahead and laugh, you guys. If I ever find a little bastards that did this, they're dead meat.
Welcome to the Dead Meat Podcast, an extension of the YouTube channel Dead Meat. I'm James.
I'm Chelsea, and we're boyfriend and girlfriend, and we like to get scared together. Today, I have a game that we're going to play that was actually inspired by an email I got from Christian Glosner, and he gave me the idea to do a little game where you have to guess the horror movies based on the reviews it got when it came out.
Okay.
So, famously a lot of horror movies, like The Shining, I think is one a lot of people think of, as a movie that is a classic now, but got kind of shitty reviews when it first came out. Mm-hmm. So when I was putting this episode together, the reviews of one person in particular stood out to me as working especially well for this. So I'm tweaking Christian's original idea a little bit, and we're going to do reviews that are all by one person. And
who's that one person?
That person is Roger Ebert.
Yeah, it is.
Yes. So Roger Ebert and horror have a famously complicated relationship.
Yeah, it's not great.
It's not great.
No, because I remember, horror films were the first kind of films that I got really into, and I would always hear about and read Roger Ebert's opinions on them and be like, who the fuck is this guy? He just hates everything. And then later, you learn more about other films. I go to film school. We learned about film criticism as an art into of itself, and I've come to really appreciate Roger Ebert. But, yeah, it's a complicated relationship.
Yeah, so, if you ask a lot of horror fans about Roger Ebert, many or most would say, oh, that guy hates horror. And this image of him hating horror probably has its origins with a specific episode of At the Movies, hosted by Siskel and Ebert. If you are really young or don't know about Siskel and Ebert, they had a show where they would review new releases.
Yeah, so it was Siskel and Ebert, and then Siskel died. And then it became Ebert and Roper, and then Ebert died. Yeah. Roper still around?
Believe so, yes.
Okay. You know what my association with Siskel and Ebert is? It's Celebrity Deathmatch, the claymation MTV show where people fought. I remember them tag teaming, I think, and I think their thumbs got broken off.
That's funny.
Because it was a very gory show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet they loved that. So normally, they would review new releases that are out in theaters, but this episode specifically, this was a very special episode where they didn't review any new releases, and rather they dedicated the entire show to talking about the slasher genre of horror films. This episode was in 1980, so this is...
The episode came out in 1980? What?
1980, yeah.
Slashers were so young.
Yeah.
What?
Mm-hmm.
I thought this would be like an 86, maybe even an 88. Holy shit.
Yep, 1980. Because so what it is the premise of the episode is that they've noticed this new trend in horror, and they specifically cite the past 2 years.
To begin with, one of the things these so-called women in danger films all have in common is that they portray women as helpless victims. And after you've sat through a dozen or so of these films, as Gene and I have unfortunately had to, they all fall into the same pattern. A woman or a young girl is shown alone, isolated, and defenseless. And then come suspense-building scenes where the girl thinks she's about to be attacked, but she isn't. And then, just when you think everything's going to be okay and nothing's going to happen, a crazy killer springs out of the shadows and attacks her. And frequently, the killer sadistically threatens the victim before he strikes.
This episode has both of the hosts, Siskel and Ebert, unanimously condemning this specific kind of horror film and how they find slashers to be rooted in a deep hatred of women, both demonstrated in the makers of the films and the audiences consuming them. So, for example, Ebert talks about going to see a movie where the audience is kind of cheering on the killers. And he kind of argues, we've talked about this before, that the movies put you in the POV of the killer. They encourage you to see through the eyes of the killer. And this, I think it's important to point out, is years before Carol Clover writes her essay about the final girl. So, they're not taking that into consideration because that trope wasn't a thing yet.
Yeah. What are some of the movies they said by name?
I have a list.
Okay.
So some of the slashers that the hosts list as belonging to this vulgar subgenre are Prom Night, Don't Go in the House, The Howling, Terror Train, The Boogeyman, He Knows You're Alone, Motel Hell, Phobia, Mother's Day, Schizoid, Silent Scream, and I Spit on Your Grave.
See, here's the thing, dude, is that so many people nowadays, especially among our audience, they like buck against this idea that horror movies are sexist or slashers are sexist or hate women. And especially, like I've said a lot of times on this podcast before, a lot of my kill counts go into the demographics of the kills, and usually more guys than women are killed. So people are like, it's bullshit that they have this reputation. I feel like early 80s and late 70s had this string of slashers that maybe, just maybe, because here's the thing, I'm not familiar with half of that list.
Right.
Maybe these movies that came out around that time that developed that relationship were more in that vein, did have just like women victims and seemed more blatantly like violent against women. And the reason that like now 30 years later we say no, that's a misconception is simply because so many of those didn't stay with the times and aren't like notable anymore, because I don't recognize half of those.
Yeah.
And of the half that I do recognize, I haven't seen Terror Train, I haven't seen Mother's Day yet. And yeah, I wonder if it's just like the good ones rose to the top.
They filter to the top, and
and
the other
stuck
ones
with
we
us.
kind of forget about. Because some of the, it's funny because some of the clips, their outrage seems very dated.
Mm-hmm.
They show a clip from When a Stranger Calls, the original, and it's so benign. You watch it now, and it's like, I don't understand what they're so angry about.
Mm-hmm.
Then they show other clips, and I forget what it was, but it was really gratuitous, and I totally understood what they were talking about. So it's it's complicated.
Yeah.
They definitely make some really good points, and they talk a little bit about, and this is something other horror scholars have pointed out, and it's why often some people hate the 80s in terms of horror and they're not into it, is because they do feel like a backlash against the women's movement. At least that's what they posit, and you can totally disagree with them and think that doesn't make any sense. That's fine. This is all just opinion. But yeah, but they do clarify that there are movies that are slashers and that they feel don't they don't have the toxic elements that they think these other movies have. And one they keep mentioning is Halloween. Mm-hmm. And what they think happened is maybe people took the wrong things from Halloween. People saw Halloween and it's great, but they took maybe the wrong things. They thought the wrong things in it were interesting, and they make all these kind of shitty, gratuitous movies.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think that episode of their show is a big reason why people associate Roger Ebert as someone who just hates horror, period. Mm-hmm. Which he doesn't. He has very specific things that he likes about horror. He's a critic. What do if someone likes all horror movies, then they're not much of a film critic, you know?
I still feel as though he was unjustly harsh on the genre.
For sure. Because
in the same way that like a lot of people will say that they don't trust Rotten Tomatoes scores because they're like, whatever, it's just the critics. I, for one, usually trust Rotten Tomatoes scores.
I tend to as
for
well.
Like dramas and for like most movies. And that's just because like we're snobs. We're film snobs.
Yeah.
We went to film school. we watch films like critically. So I tend to agree with those snobbish film critics on the Rotten Tomatoes scores, except in terms of horror movies. If a horror movie has like a 50% on Rotten Tomatoes, I'm like, that might be a great fucking horror movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, critics, I think in general have just this thing against it. Hopefully it's changing now a little bit, maybe.
Yeah. I think you'll be surprised at ones that he likes.
Okay.
I had so much fun putting this together because some of these are like, dude, what? What are we doing, man?
and you specifically, personally, really liked Roger Ebert, right?
Yeah.
I remember when he passed.
I was really
very
sad. I just think that, he's someone where his film criticism and film analysis was its own separate thing from whatever movie he was reviewing. Like, they kind of elevated themselves to being really great written pieces that are just kind of their own thing,
like their own art form.
Yeah, exactly. And I think maybe we're missing a little bit of that now. And
and I remember learning about that in college, about how like some film critics, they're reviewing something, but they're also writing something. They're also creating something that it's commentary on something, but it's a art form created in and of itself sound familiar, kill count. It's just because something is commenting on something doesn't mean that it can't have its own merit as an art form. And I know Pauline Kael, is that how you say it? Yeah, that she was always brought up in film school, and I remember reading her reviews and being like, yeah, these are like just well-written things that are enjoyable to read, whether or not I agree with the outcome and final analysis of the film.
Yeah, Pauline Kael, I think, is someone who will make an appearance on we'll talk about her at some point in the future. I don't know, because there's some reviews, in their movies that I have on this list where I like the movie that he's giving a shitty review, but I found the review itself so enjoyable. And that's fine. That's a healthy relationship to have with someone who you disagree with. Yeah. I think, we could all use a little more of that and maybe learn something from Roger Ebert. So, however, you may be surprised to learn that Roger Ebert co-wrote a movie that ultimately it does turn into kind of a slasher in the end, and it's one of my all-time
It's also like a softcore porn.
It is. It's gratuitous.
Yeah.
Yes. It's one of my all-time favorites. Beyond the Valley of the Dolls, he co-wrote with Russ Meyer, who was famous for making sexploitation movies. And it's a satire of the film Valley of the Dolls, and it just parodies late 60s Hollywood and show business. I think it's early 70s. I don't have the year written down.
It's ridiculous. I've only seen it once.
I made you watch it. I own it. It's wonderful.
When I'm with you, pussycat, who needs grass?
You'd have to see it to believe it. Of course, I nearly choked.
It's just out of control. Weird. It's super weird. Tons of nudity, tons of sex, tons of violence during the third act. It's a very thinly veiled allusion to the Tate murders, which were like a couple years before they filmed that movie. So it's a lot.
I don't remember it that well. Could a kill count be done on it with the number of kills in it?
I think so.
Really?
Yeah.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, I'm a little obsessed with it, and it's got one of my favorite movie lines.
This is my happening, and it freaks me out.
So big recommend, but heads up, it's an NC-17 movie for a reason. It's a hard NC-17 movie.
You probably just got so many people rushing to go watch it after saying that.
Yeah. So the reason I bring...
You're welcome, Ebert Estate.
Hell yeah. So the reason I bring up that movie specifically is to point out that Roger Ebert's not a prude. He's not a stuck-up dude who doesn't like fun or isn't into violent movies or movies with nudity. He made one of the most fucked up movies ever. And... so I think I just mentioned that to say, he doesn't hate those things, and he's not, some boring, stuck-up critic who doesn't like fun at the movies.
Oh, you sure? Because you sounded just like him right there.
Oh, yeah. So, even if you completely disagree with all of the points he makes in Women in Danger, which is all on YouTube if you want to watch it, that special, it's in 2 parts on YouTube. It's worth watching, and, he... in hindsight, sure, it seems dated or maybe a little misguided, but they have well thought out arguments. They're both really eloquent and funny, and, it's worth watching.
Also, for the last few years of his life, didn't he not have his jaw?
Yeah.
His jaw was removed because of cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. And I admire that strength of him to
I think
just
he
keep
was
going
working.
on. Yeah, he
up
worked
to the
until he
end.
died. Yeah.
Yeah.
And even after something so, especially as someone who speaks for, I guess he could write his reviews still, but like you said, they had that show and he would speak, and that must have been heartbreaking.
Snarky too.
Yeah, I can't imagine losing my ability to speak with what I do.
Yeah.
And just that he kept pressing on, man. You gotta admire that.
Yeah, and his wife too, Chaz. She runs his Twitter too now.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. So, yeah, so I think he represents someone who had a really healthy relationship with criticism, and the way that, even people whose films that he trashed were honored to be trashed by Roger Ebert. And I think that's a really cool thing. So, all right. That said, do you want to get into some of these reviews?
Let's game it up.
So I separated these into positive reviews first.
Okay.
Because the negative ones are a little more fun, and we're going to end with those.
Okay.
Because some of those are very surprising. Some of the good ones are surprising too. I was like, what are we doing? All right.
Do you Do you believe that I will know all of these movies?
Yes.
Okay.
I picked ones that most people would know that you definitely
Sure.
know. Okay, here we go. This movie. Oh, and by the way, I replaced words in these excerpts with this movie. So if the title comes up, it's this movie or this director to not,
Okay.
because then it's not a game. All right, so here we go. This movie is a tough, bitter little sleeper of a movie that's about 4 times as good as you'd expect. The director's direction, that's obviously something I had to put in there, never lets us out from under almost unbearable dramatic tension. The acting is unmannered and natural, I guess. There's no posturing. There's a good ear for dialogue and nuance. And there is evil in this movie. Not bloody escapism or a thrill a minute, but a fully developed sense of the vicious natures of the killers. There's no glory in this violence. 3.5 stars.
Did he have a 4-star or a 5-star?
4. He goes up to 4.
That's so weird. I was gonna say Amityville Horror until you talked about killers. Also, what's the year range of these reviews?
I would say...
Like, how late does it go?
I would say it goes early 70s up to late 2000s.
Damn, late 2000s? Shit.
Yeah, you've got a lot.
That's okay. Killers, multiple killers, maybe. I don't think it sounds like Scream, so let's say Last House on the Left.
Yeah, Last
Really?
House on the Left.
Wow.
Yeah, 3.5 stars.
There you go. There's a movie that is dirty to its core.
Holy
that
shit.
I have a hard time watching.
I've seen that movie once. I don't ever need to see it again. We met the 2 of the actors from that, 2 of the killers from that at Texas Frightmare. I told them, hey, I've only seen this once. You gave me nightmares and, good job. And they were very, very nice, very, very nice people. All right, cool. Yeah,
Nice.
one of my hints was that this movie could be in the Women in Danger episode of Siskel and Ebert.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. If I can't get it, she has hints
I have
lined
hints
up
on
for
here.
me. Just
I've got
keep this moving.
3 hints. Okay, I love this review so much, this next one. Okay, now, listen up, people. I don't want to get any email messages from readers complaining that I gave the movie 3 stars, and so they went to it expecting to have a good time, and it was the sickest and most disgusting movie they'd ever seen. My review has accurately described the movie and explained why some of you might appreciate it and most of you will not. And if you decide to go, please don't claim you were uninformed. 3 stars.
It's not Texas Chainsaw, is it?
Not Texas Chainsaw.
Okay. Give me my first hint.
Okay, first hint. The year this movie came out was 2005.
Oh. Ooh, 2005. That's a nasty area for horror
Right?
movies.
Yeah.
Ugh. I don't like much of what's coming out then. Damn, what's he... Hostel?
Not Hostel.
Saw.
Nope.
Hostel 2.
Do you want another hint?
Yeah.
It's a sequel.
Saw
Not Hostel
2?
2. No, it's not Saw 2.
Huh. 2005. That's that era though. I mean, yeah.
Don't think torture porn.
No.
Don't think torture porn.
Okay. But it's 2005. What else? What the fuck else?
Do you want
is
your
going
last
on?
hint?
Yeah.
It's a cult movie, cult following.
A cult following in 2005, and I know it. Mm-hmm. Have I seen it?
I don't know if you have.
Ooh. Okay.
I don't know. You know it. I don't know if you've seen it.
Is it like big budget?
No.
No.
I'm going to say no. I actually have no idea. I'm going to lean towards no.
Damn. 2005. I don't know, dude.
The Devil's Rejects.
Oh.
He really liked it. 3 out of 4 stars for The
Okay.
Devil's
I have
Rejects.
seen it, but it's been a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. He really liked it. He liked that Rob Zombie movie.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing the positive ones first because, after we spent so much time talking about this weird relationship he has with these movies, some of these are so surprising.
I wonder if he liked House of a Thousand Corpses or if he thought that was too much and Devil's Rejects was like a more
I think so because I
successful.
don't remember because on the website you can sort reviews by how many stars they have. I don't remember seeing House of a Thousand Corpses on the higher end of
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, that one I've watched recently and it was like Rob, I know what you're trying to do, but like rein it in a little bit.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe he does for Devil's Rejects.
I think that's what a lot of people have said. If, you don't love House of a Thousand Corpses, you'll probably like Devil's Rejects better.
I wonder if Devil's Rejects is his most well-regarded horror film.
It might be.
Because, like, I don't know how much people like the Halloween stuff. I don't know. I feel like all of his movies are very divisive, but they've definitely got a style to them.
Yeah.
He's definitely got a vision.
All right, ready for this next one?
Yeah.
It's a slick, scary, funny creature feature. Beautifully photographed and splendidly acted in high adventure style. This film is an example of one of the hardest kinds of films to make well, a superior mass audience entertainment. It has the effects and the thrills, but it also has big laughs, quirky dialogue, and a gruesome imagination. 3.5 stars.
Gremlins?
Not Gremlins.
Creature feature, but like with laughs and stuff. So not The Thing. I'm guessing it's not Jurassic Park.
It's not Jurassic Park. I will say this is one I put on here thinking you might have a harder time guessing.
Yeah. Throw me that first hint.
The year this movie came out was 1997.
97. The American Godzilla?
No.
What? He's just a huge Broderick fan. What can he say? I feel like that was 99 anyway. 97? It's not Lost World?
No. Let me give you the second hint because this
Okay.
might help you. The 3.5 star rating is baffling. This is not a well-regarded movie. I would say this movie is often featured on bad movie podcasts.
Ooh. Shit.
It might be.
You know what? The years kind of throw me off because it really narrows down my. I don't know. Are there other hints?
Yes.
Or is that it?
This film stars Jennifer Lopez and Ice Cube.
The Cell?
No, not The Cell. He actually gave that 4 stars, I think.
Oh, okay. I don't think I've seen it. Jennifer Lopez and Ice Cube. Is it like Anaconda?
Anaconda.
Oh, it is Anaconda?
3.5 stars for Anaconda.
Ooh.
It's not good.
You've seen it?
Yes,
I've never seen it.
It's not good.
I want to see it now.
Yeah, John Voight's in it too.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Shit.
We can watch it.
Is there a sequel or no?
I think there's a sequel.
Damn it. I just want a one-off.
Yeah. All right. Ready?
Yeah.
This British horror thriller recalls grueling, adrenaline-pumping classics like Deliverance, Jaws, Alien, and Dead Calm. It's that good. Finally, a scary movie with teeth, not just blood and entrails. A savage and gripping piece of work that jangles your nerves without leaving your brain hanging. And so, for a change, you emerge feeling energized and exhilarated rather than enervated or merely queasy. 4 stars.
Amityville?
No.
That's probably not British. 28 Days Later?
Mm-mm.
I feel like it's probably earlier than that, year-wise.
Do you want the year?
Yeah.
2006.
Oh, it's not. Okay. The Descent?
The Descent.
It is The Descent.
4 stars.
I love The Descent.
I love it too.
4 stars?
That was my second hint, is it's a movie we both love.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's a genuinely scary-ass movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that damn movie.
Yep.
I like that. And so comparing it favorably to, just comparing it to, I heard Alien.
Jaws, Alien.
So he liked Alien, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I think
You like those
Alien. So if
movies?
you go on Roger Ebert's website, and you're looking at a list of all the reviews, there's some movies he gives 4 stars, and then some movies he gives 4 stars, and there's a little like great movie stamp next to it that's basically like, this is a classic movie. I think Alien and Jaws have those.
Cool. I mean, they both are.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why they were both. Alien wasn't featured in our movies that changed the genre, huh?
Nope. A lot of
Jaws
people
was.
gave us grief for that.
We'll have to do a follow-up to
I
that
think that
one,
would be-
including other stuff that we missed
I
like
think
that.
that'd be a good
and probably
idea.
The Ring
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. Ready?
Yes.
This movie is an ingenious little horror film, so well made it's truly scary, that arrives claiming it's the real thing. It goes to great lengths to seem like a film found after the event. It works. It illustrates one of my favorite points, that silence and waiting can be more entertaining than frantic fast-cutting and berserk effects. For extended periods here, nothing at all is happening, and believe me, you won't be bored. 3.5 stars.
I got 2 answers, and one of them has to be right. My first guess, paranormal.
Yes.
Yeah.
3.5 stars for Paranormal Activity.
I love Paranormal Activity, dude.
Yeah, that one of my hints is you're a big defender of this film.
I am a defender.
Yeah.
Of 1 and 3.
Yeah. I don't know if he liked 3 so much.
Really?
I think the first one is the one that he really liked. And,
Sure, that's fine.
I don't even know if he reviewed all the sequels. It's weird because sometimes you'll look at a series and he's reviewed a couple out of, because you can't review every movie.
Review everything, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure he would have if he could have.
Oh, man.
Yep.
Cool.
All right. Ready?
Yeah.
I saw the movie, I laughed, I took notes, and now I am at a loss to write the review. All of the usual critical categories and strategies collapse in the face of a film like this. Faced with a dilemma like this, the experienced critic falls back on a reliable ploy. He gives away some of the best jokes and punchlines. He's like a buddy who has just walked out of a movie and tells you the funny stuff before you walk in.
Oh, fuck that
3
guy.
stars.
Cabin in the Woods?
No.
Evil Dead 2?
Nope.
He probably doesn't like Evil Dead 2.
I think that he
really?
did, yeah.
Oh, cool.
That was one I think I almost put on here, but there were so many.
See? You know what? We're all learning something here. Oh, man. It's funny. Scream.
No.
Scream 2. Okay.
Do you want
Hit
a
me
hint?
up with a hint.
This came out in the year 2000.
In the year 2000. A funny, scary movie?
Scary movie.
He loved scary
3 out of 4
movies.
stars, baby. Dude, honestly, I feel like he would have been fun to hang out with and just like watch stupid shit with. Roger Ebert. He thought Scary Movie was hilarious. And honestly, we rewatched Scary Movie not too long ago, and a lot of it still holds up.
A lot of it's pretty
A lot of
funny.
it made us laugh, like genuinely laugh out
Yeah.
loud. Yeah.
It's no Billy Madison, but
Right. All right. At a time when digital techniques can show us almost anything, this movie is a reminder that what really scares us is the stuff we can't see. The noise in the dark is almost always scarier than what makes the noise in the dark. Any kid can tell you that. Not that he believes it at the time. 4 stars.
Sinister?
No. That was one he gave a good review to.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant Insidious.
No.
Okay. He did like Sinister?
Yeah.
Cool.
I think he did. Yeah, because I looked at a lot of reviews on his website. They're all just kind of jumbled together.
The lawnmower scene, really?
Oh, God.
Hit me up with the year, if that's the first clue.
1999.
99. Darkness. Blair Witch?
Blair Witch, 4
Yeah,
stars.
That was my other guess for the other one.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah. But yeah, 4 stars for the Blair Witch Project.
Oh, wow. Yeah, especially with that image of him as like a stodgy older man, you wouldn't expect him to like a movie that's like this newfangled found footage, shaky cam.
I mean, I think he likes it and he likes it for the same reasons I like it, which is it's so much with nothing. It's so scary without, like he says, showing you anything. I think it's so good.
Yeah.
I love it. All right. Here we go.
Uh-oh.
No,
what?
these aren't bad. This is still a good one. I think
Okay.
we're almost out of the good ones, and then we're in the bad ones.
Oh, no. I'm
right.
so scared of the bad ones.
I suspect I'll be in the minority for praising this film. It will be described as empty, uneventful, meandering, but for some, it will weave a spell. It is a parable, yes, but it is also simply the story of these people and how their lives and existence have suddenly become problematic. We depend on such a superstructure to maintain us that 1 or 2 alterations could leave us stranded and wandering through a field if we are that lucky. 3 stars.
Don't tell me it's Children of the Corn.
No, it's
Okay. Through the field? Am I reading too much into Through the Field? Okay. That's kind of more of a metaphor.
Yeah, I think that might take you
Sure.
in the wrong direction.
Take me through the field away from it.
Do you want a hint?
Sure.
2008.
2008. Talking about like a group of people. 2008. What's going on with 2008? That's before paranormal. So it's like late torture porn era. It's probably not torture porn.
It's not torture porn.
Yeah. 2008.
Do you want another hint that might
Is it a
help you?
remake?
No.
Okay, sure. Go ahead.
Roger Ebert was indeed in the minority in praising this film.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Huh. And there's a group of people that is the subject?
Yeah, I think don't
Don't do
think
that?
about that so much because
Okay.
that's gonna, yeah.
Do I own it?
No,
Oh. Have I seen it?
I don't think so. You know what
Really?
this is, but I don't think you've seen it.
Sure. 2008. Do you got another hint?
Starring Marky Mark Wahlberg.
Wahlberg. I thought the other Marky Mark.
No.
Marky Mark Jones. Marky Mark in a 2008 movie. I don't know his filmography.
Do you know Marky Mark's filmography,
No, I don't
bro?
know Marky Mark. I know. No.
You know what? Do you want to know what the movie is?
Hit me up.
The Happening, bro.
Oh.
3 stars out of 4 from Roger Ebert.
And people don't like that?
No.
It's requested a lot.
Really?
Yeah, I think my fans like it.
Interesting.
Is
I
that
would-
the trees?
Yes.
Okay. Is that a big twist ending?
I don't know if that's... I have no idea what the twist is in that movie.
Sorry if I spoiled it. I feel like it's like a, everyone knows it. It's like Sixth Sense. Can you really spoil Sixth Sense?
Maybe you could. If you're
Well,
young
I
and haven't
won't.
seen it.
Yeah.
All right. One of the most boring experiences on Earth is a trash movie without the courage of its lack of convictions. If it only wants to be cynical, it becomes lifeless in every moment, a bad dream on the screen. One of the pleasures of the movies, however, is to find a movie that chooses a disreputable genre and then tries with all its might to transcend the genre, to go over the top into some kind of artistic vision, however weird. By the end of the film, we are keenly aware that nothing of consequence has happened, but so what? We've been assaulted by a lurid imagination, amazed by unspeakable sights, blindsided by the movie's curiously dry sense of humor. I guess that's our money's worth. 3 stars.
Is it Toxic Avenger?
Oh, that would be so crazy, though. You're in the right time period. I'll give you that.
Okay.
85.
85?
85.
85. It sounds kind of trashy. Kind of trashy?
Sure, yeah, but not Toxic Avenger levels of trash.
Well, what's Toxic Avengers levels trash? Hit me up with another hint.
Based on a story by a famous horror author.
Is it Stephen King?
Nope.
Ooh. What other famous horror? Is it Jack Ketchum?
No.
Well, then I don't know. Hit me up with another hint.
The main character, he's got a good head on his shoulders.
Yeah.
And 1 on the table.
Was it Reanimator?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, 3 out of 4 stars.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. He wrote this beautiful review of Reanimator.
Just appreciating how much it dived into trash.
Yeah, exactly. I think he likes when, someone makes trash but they're thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what Reanimator is. Fuck yeah, dude.
All right, one last good one and then
Okay.
we're diving into the poop. We're getting into the bad reviews.
Nice.
All right. This movie will no doubt be a hit and inspire the obligatory sequels. Like the original Scream, this movie is too good to be the end of the road. I have visions of my own. 3 stars.
What do you mean you have visions of your own, of writing your own sequels, dude? So it's obviously post-Scream, and he said it's good, so it's not I Know What You Did Last Summer. Also, it kind of sounds like he's speaking a little bit distanced from Scream, so I'm going to guess like at least 5 years after. So my guess is that the year is post-2000?
2000, yep.
Oh, it is 2000.
Yep.
Huh. And he said that there should be sequels. Were there sequels?
Yes.
Okay. Final Destination?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why I said I have visions of my own.
Oh.
That was my last hint. It was
Okay.
like he's referencing the movie.
Cool.
Yeah.
You like that one?
He did, yeah. 3 out of 4 stars.
He's a big Devin Safeway fan.
Yeah, hell yeah, he is. All right, you ready for the bad reviews?
Let's get into the bad ones.
Okay. Bad reviews.
I feel like some of these are going to break my heart.
Oh, absolutely. There's a few that my hints are, this is going to ruin you. Or there will be outrage in the comments.
But just remember all the movies he just said he liked.
Exactly.
I see your plan, Chelsea.
Quote, this sucks on so many levels, unquote.
Oh, Jason X.
Yeah.
I want to hear the rest of
Because
it.
he said dialogue from the movie, hyphen. Like,
Yeah.
that's a quote from it. So he says, He began the review with that quote. Rare for a movie to so frankly describe itself. This movie sucks on the levels of storytelling, character development, suspense, special effects, originality, punctuation, neatness, and the aptness of thought. Only its title works. Half a star.
No, dude. Jason X is cool, man.
It's cool, man.
It's real cool. You got fucking robot Jason. It's funny.
It's in space.
It's in space. You got the virtual girls. That's a great scene.
The frozen kill, the frozen head.
The liquid nitrogen
Pretty
kill,
cool.
the best of the series.
Yep.
And Brodsky's badass.
Yep, half a star. Half a star for Jason X.
It's okay, Jason X. I'll give you the other 3.5.
The best shot in this film is the first one. Not a good sign. After the screening was over and the lights went up, I observed a couple of my colleagues in deep and earnest conversation trying to resolve twists in the plot. They were applying more thought to the movie than the makers did. A critic's mind is a terrible thing to waste. 1 star.
Is this Saw?
No.
Oh.
Not Saw.
Okay.
I think he gave, I'll just say up front, Saw's not on here. I think he gave it 2.5 stars.
Okay.
Yeah.
People overthought it.
His review of Saw is basically, I didn't like it, but you know what? They made this movie, and good for them.
That's what, you know what? You should never get worse than that when reviewing Saw, because that movie was made for fucking nothing.
Yeah, I think that's why he kind of
Yeah.
gives it a little bit of...
And they made that fucking movie.
Yeah.
Props, Saw.
Yep. You want a hint?
Yes.
1997.
97. I know what you did last summer.
Yes.
Wow, that was actually my first guess until I overthought a little bit and said Saw. So
Yep.
he gave that 1 star.
1 star.
Good. That's kind of trashy. I haven't seen it in so long, so I feel bad shit talking it, but I feel like it's safe to shit talk.
I think so.
Which is so weird because it's written by the same guy who wrote Scream.
Yeah.
But still, I don't know.
Yeah. I think the author, because it's based on a book, and I can't remember, is it Lois Lowry who wrote the book? But I think even she hates the movie. Because her books are good. I liked her books a lot in junior high and high school.
Well, for me, I mean, back when I was into horror movies as a kid, I always thought of it as just the less cool Scream. It wasn't as violent. It didn't have as many cool kills.
Yeah.
It wasn't as funny, obviously. It just seems like a lesser Scream.
Yeah.
I have to rewatch it. We just watched the 3rd one recently.
Guys, don't.
That's the one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
It is. It
Has this
truly
come up in
is.
the podcast before?
I don't think so.
Well, just in case it hasn't, I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer is one of the worst fucking movies I have ever seen.
I don't think it's ever going to be an episode because that episode will just be us angry.
Oh, no. It'll be a kill count because I want to cover the first 2, and I can't do the first 2 without covering the last one that no one
fuck.
even knows exists.
That sucks.
People know the first 2. The 3rd one doesn't have any of the cast from the first 2. It's just garbage.
Yeah.
Continue.
Okay.
What do you say about I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer? That Roger Ebert didn't know what that movie was.
Yeah.
That directed DVD trash.
No idea.
I would have
Don't think he
killed to read a
reviewed it.
review of his.
Maybe we'll have to look. There's so many reviews on that site. All right. This is one of those movies you sit through with a mounting dread, as the fear grows inside of you that it will indeed turn out to be feature length. Who goes to see movies like this? What do they get out of them? I like good horror movies because I enjoy being surprised and sometimes even moved, but there are no surprises in this movie, only a dreary series of scenes that repeat each other. What fun is it watching the movie mark time until the characters discover the obvious? This is a movie without wit, style, or reason, and the true horror is that actors were made to portray and technicians to realize its bankruptcy of imagination. Half a star.
Damn.
Yeah.
That is scathing.
Cold. Ice cold. That's not a hint.
I just fucking know that one of these negative reviews
is gonna
be the thing.
Oh, yeah, you're waiting for.
And I'm just waiting for it. I don't think it's this one.
It's not. That's a hint.
Okay.
This is not the thing.
So we got a year?
1987.
87. I might have my year wrong, but is this... No, Child's Play was 88.
He gave a good review to Child's Play. He liked it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
I think he gave it three stars.
Yeah.
That one I couldn't. I wanted to put that in here, but there were no excerpts that I could use because they're all about the
About a
doll
killer
looks
doll?
so real. I'm like, I can't do this. Do you want another hint?
Yeah.
Cult movie. Big cult movie.
87. I feel like I haven't been keeping up with my cult movies, so I feel like I haven't watched this recently, probably.
You have. You know this movie.
Oh.
My last hint, I'm shocked this got half a star, and this might hurt you a little bit.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
87. Oh, no. Is this Killer Clowns from Outer
It's
Space?
not Killer Clowns.
Okay.
As far as I know, he didn't review Killer Clowns.
Well, you're missing out, Raj. What is it?
Hellraiser.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, half a star.
You know what? Now that you say that, I do remember reading that excerpt when I was researching Hellraiser to do a Patreon review for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't like it.
Mm-mm. And again, I love Hellraiser. We love Hellraiser.
I love Hellraiser.
But I think this review is so funny. He's so mad.
Yeah, it's a
But
funny.
he's so angry and he writes so well that it's fine.
Yeah, it's like when I go off on a movie and a kill count, even if you really like it, hopefully I'm being funny about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, my indignation.
Yeah. All right. This one's kind of a long excerpt, but I put it all in here.
Got it.
A vile bag of garbage named This Movie is playing in Chicago theaters this week. It is a movie so sick, reprehensible, and contemptible that I can hardly believe it's playing in respectable theaters such as Plitz United Artists. But it is. Attending it was one of the most depressing experiences of my life. This is a film without a shred of artistic distinction. It lacks even simple craftsmanship. There is no possible motive for exhibiting it other than the totally cynical hope that it might make money. Perhaps it will make money. When I saw it at 11:20 a.m. on Monday, the theater contained a larger crowd than usual. It was not just a large crowd, it was a profoundly disturbing one. I do not often attribute motives to audience members, nor do I try to read their minds, but the people who were sitting around me on Monday morning made it easy for me to know what they were thinking. They talked out loud. And if they seriously believed the things they were saying, they were vicarious sex criminals. No stars.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Do you want a hint?
Sure.
1978.
Damn. I was going to guess Hostel. Way off year-wise.
Yes.
78, and it's not Halloween because he liked Halloween. What else was 78, dude?
Do you want another hint?
Yeah.
This might be a harder one to guess.
Okay.
This is featured in the Women in Danger special. This is one he plays numerous clips of. I think.
Is this I Spit on Your Grave?
Yes.
Okay.
No stars.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen this.
I have never seen it. I have no interest in seeing it.
I'll probably see it. Carol Clover talks about it a lot in
Yeah.
her essays.
I think it's one that I should watch, and I'll hate all of it because that's like not my bag, not my genre.
Is that the one with the boat?
It's yes.
Yeah.
He shows that clip of the guys. It's a woman sunbathing on a boat, and then it's guys kind of going in circles around this boat, and then they tie up the boat and drag her away.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a rape revenge movie.
Yeah,
that
not super
subgenre
into
of
those.
horror. Last House on the Left.
Yeah.
is
Again,
also
those are
one of
movies
those.
I can like. Last House is a very good movie. Again,
Did you say he liked Last House?
Yes,
right?
he
so, Yeah,
did,
it's not
yes.
necessarily like a matter of writing off that whole
right
subgenre.
Exactly. I believe when Irreversible came out, that's another really famous rape revenge movie. Also a really disturbing movie, but he gave that a good review too. So he doesn't wholeheartedly hate that subgenre, but this one he hated.
Yeah.
Hated.
have never seen this, but yeah, it's infamous in how
Yep.
graphic it is.
Yeah.
But
So
I
that's
but
why
I think
I-
that Clover somewhat defends it.
I think she has a whole section in her book about rape revenge movies.
Yeah, and this one plays a large part in it. I think
Yeah.
it's like the most featured movie of it. And
Yeah.
I feel like she's not as doesn't have as negative words to say about it as Roger.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Ready?
Yep.
This movie is basically just a geek show, a gross out movie in which teenagers can dare one another to watch the screen. There's nothing wrong with that. I like being scared, and I was scared by many scenes in this movie. But it seems clear that the director made his choice early on to concentrate on the special effects and the technology and to allow the story and people to become secondary. 2.5 stars.
Hostel? The Thing?
Yes, The Thing.
No!
2.5, though. We didn't give it half a star like Hellraiser.
Well, yeah. Fuck you, dude. The characters are great.
Look, when we're in the shitty half of this episode, 2.5 stars is the best you can ask for, and you were waiting for it this whole time.
Doesn't make it better.
I know. My second hint was he's not wrong calling it a gross out movie. It is. It's gross, but
Yeah,
that's
it's
a good
fucking
thing.
awesome.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
All right. At least that's out of the way. I knew one of them would be the thing. I knew it. It's okay. It's gone. I just hate because, like, I don't know. I
know. Everyone's got those movies where if anyone talks shit, it hurts.
No. I was gonna say I just hate because, like, maybe his review helped, impact the hugely negative financial take of that. Like, that movie was a flop and, like, really depressed Carpenter at how poorly it was received. But I can't blame a Roger Ebert review for that. He's written plenty of shitty reviews about movies that, like, went on to make plenty of money.
But that idea of a critic's review ruining a movie or ruining a movie's release is why there's so many characters in movies that are like that, isn't it? In Birdman, there's the critic. It's a play, but it's the critic who's like, I can give your play a bad review and totally tank it. There's always that character.
Yeah.
In
Don't
movies.
ruin my release. And that's why some movies have they won't let critics. What's it called when they won't let critics release any reviews or thoughts about it until, like, it's out?
Oh, like the embargo?
Yeah, embargoes. Yeah. They have, like, review embargoes, and it's like, oh, that speaks highly of your movie, dude. If you're embargoing
Shit,
reviews.
what are ones recently that have
There have been some recently, like big movies too. I think maybe Fallen Kingdom.
Fallen Kingdom?
Did
might
they have an
been.
embargo? I'm not sure, but yeah, sometimes movies, like, won't let. And I don't know what that arrangement is, how that works, but they're afraid of reviews ruining movies sometimes. And,
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Now here's a grisly little item. This movie is as violent and gruesome and blood-soaked as the title promises. It's also without any apparent purpose, unless the creation of disgust and fright is a purpose. And yet, in its own way, the movie is some kind of weird, off-the-wall achievement. I can't imagine why anyone would want to make a movie like this, and yet it's well-made, well-acted, and all too effective. 2 stars.
Is this Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
It is Texas Chainsaw, yeah.
I mean, the title being promising violence.
Exactly.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
It's one where it's similar to, I believe, his review of Saw, where he's like, I don't get it, but you made this and you did a good job.
I like that he said the acting was good.
It is good. That's what makes it so scary, I think. They sell it.
Yeah. You never, like, think you're watching actors when you're watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
so
dude.
Okay. This movie is not simply a bad movie, but also a stupid and incompetent one. A ripoff. There's one other thing I can't believe about this movie, and that is that on March 30th, Michael Caine passed up his chance to accept his Academy Award in person because of his commitment to this movie. No stars.
Michael Caine?
I know. I should have looked up what he was accepting his award for. What movie?
Oh, that would have been good.
I totally forgot to check.
Michael Caine in a movie. What's the year?
87.
Oof.
The Academy Award was not for Gold member.
Gold. I forgot that he was Gold member.
Yeah, he's Austin Powers'
Oh
dad.
my god. Another hint?
This is the last installment in a franchise.
In 87, the last installment?
The last installment.
Of an... Is it like Stepfather or some weird shit?
No.
Okay. I know it.
If he liked Stepfather. You know this.
Huh, I've never seen Stepfather, but it's Terry O'Quinn. Fucking John Locke from Lost.
I just remember the remake that came out.
Oh, that's not Terry O'Quinn.
Nope. Because the tagline was Daddy's Home. And we always thought that was funny. Do you want another hint?
Yeah.
This movie was sometimes promoted as the third movie in this franchise because it ignored the events of the actual third movie.
But it's not Halloween 4, because that's not the last of the franchise. Ignored the events. It's not Army of Darkness.
No. Let me give you one last hint.
Okay.
The third movie was in 3D.
Oh, is this Jaws the Revenge?
Jaws the Revenge,
Okay.
no stars.
Oh, wow.
Michael Caine skipping out on the Oscars to work on this. He's got to get paid.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the Jaws sequels. I know I must have
I've
watched
only
them when I was a
seen
kid.
the first one.
The first sequel?
No, the first.
Oh, the
I've
first
just
movie.
seen Jaws.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't remember 2, 3D, or Revenge. They've got to be awful, though, right? They've got to be
Yeah,
awful.
I mean, they have. Yeah.
Revenge, I think the premise is they go on a Caribbean vacation and the shark follows them. I'm pretty sure that's why it's the Revenge. It's the shark's revenge.
Shit.
Follows them down there.
Sounds great, actually.
It kind of does.
Oh man. All right. This is the last one,
Okay.
which I'm bummed about. I wish I had more.
Yeah, these are fun.
These are a lot of fun. All right.
I wonder. I hope that people playing along have been having fun. 'Cause sometimes I like say 'em right away, and I hope that I'm, giving them
it's
enough time.
Whatever. It's fine. I mean, I'm having fun, and I know what all the answers are. It's not death itself that's so bad. It's what you might have to go through to get there. No horror film I've seen inflicts more terrible things on its victims than this movie. You would have to be very brave to choose this ordeal over simply being murdered. Maybe you'd need to also be insane. I am required to award stars to movies I review. This time, I refuse to do it. The star rating system is unsuited to this film. Is the movie good? Is it bad? Doesn't matter. It is what it is and occupies a world where the stars don't shine. No stars.
I've heard that last
Yes,
part of this
you've
review
heard this.
before.
This is a very famous Roger Ebert review.
Shit. Yeah, I've definitely heard that. Hint?
Shit's a pretty good hint. Shit.
Shit's a pretty good hint.
2009.
2009? Mm-hmm. 2009? Is it a Saw movie?
No.
2009. It's not the Evil Dead remake, is it?
No.
Shit, it sounds so familiar. Another hint?
The creator of this film left out specific details of the plot so they could get funding.
Oh,
Yeah.
Spicy.
I love it.
I don't know.
My third hint is I like this movie.
2009. Do I know it? Mm-hmm. Have I watched it recently?
I don't think recently, but I'm pretty sure you've seen it.
Do I own it?
No.
Okay.
Think about the hint of shit
Shit.
that you accidentally gave yourself.
Shit. I don't know.
You don't know? Do you want me to just tell you?
Do you got any other hints that you can come up with on the fly?
There are sequels to this. I mean, there's sequels to every horror. That's not a very good hint, is it?
Yeah.
Let's see. I would say kind of indie movie. If I had to. The second one is in black and white, I think.
Oh, I know what this is.
What is it?
Shit.
Yeah,
It's
baby.
the human
Yeah,
centipede.
baby.
Yeah, fuck the human centipede.
I like the Human
I
Centipede.
don't. I
we should
don't
we
like that
should
movie.
do an episode about Human Centipede because I think it would be one of the only episodes we do where our opinions are so different.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I think that would be really fun.
I always love hearing that in podcasts. Because
Yeah.
most of the time the hosts always agree, but I love it when there's a little bit of like, no, what? How can you possibly
we can
think
have
this?
we can have a little healthy spar over Human Centipede.
Oh, God, fuck that.
I bet I
movie.
could convince you to like it.
I know I can't convince you not to. So if there's any movement, it's just in that direction. Well, that was fun.
Yeah, I like doing the research for this, and thank you, Christian Glosner, for coming up with that idea. Especially because we're going to Comic-Con. This will be released after we're back, but we're going to Comic-Con in a day.
Yeah.
And I had to do one more podcast than I normally would in the span of a week, and I needed an idea that wasn't a review. This was perfect.
It was nice that this was kind of like half research, half game.
Yeah.
Because like we just did the game with the Mad Libs, but it wasn't like a pure game one like that. 'Cause
Yeah.
I guess at this point we've kind of shaken out to like we have our reviews, our games, and our research.
Yeah.
And I mean we'll hopefully continue to expand with like interviews and stuff. But I always like to switch shit up. I don't like to do 2 reviews in a row. So since we just did The Ring, I'm glad we didn't have to do another one because those are the easiest for us.
Yeah, I
Those
was
are the
worried
quickest.
we would have to do 2 reviews in a row.
Yeah,
just because of time.
Yeah, research takes time, but it looks like you. I think it helps that you are such an Ebert fan.
Yeah.
And
I knew which of his. Also, God, his website's so great. If you want to just sit and read his reviews, or they have a lot of contributors on that site too. But
Yeah.
the way they have their site set up is you can search by stars and by genre. So what I would do is I would just search horror 0 to 2 stars, and it gives you the list of, and you could search for ones that were written by just him.
Oh, cool.
So it's really cool if you want to just go through and read.
I think I've been on that site before and like hung out for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So I hope you had fun. I hope you had fun playing along.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope, I don't know, I hope that this episode about just, having a healthy relationship with, different opinions is good. We all like movies. Let's be cool about it.
Sure. And if you have any ideas for podcast episodes like Christian did, feel free to email
Yes,
us at
please.
deadmeatpod@gmail.com.
Yeah, I always like getting game ideas because those are hard to come up with sometimes. Ones that other people would think are fun besides me. So, yeah.
Good work. We don't know what we're doing next week. It'll probably be a review.
A review.
But yeah, this was a lot of fun.
I have one in mind, but we'll see. We'll see.
Okay. Cool. Oh, is it what I just got?
Yep.
Oh, okay. We'll see.
Okay. We just got some in the mail, so.
Sure, yeah. Make sure you follow Dead Meat on social media. That's at Dead Meat James on Twitter and Instagram.
I'm at Carebeck. That's CareBecc on Twitter and Instagram, and deadmeatstore.com if you want merch.
Yeah, we got lots of pins.
Pins.
You're thinking about a new one, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Thinking of some new pins.
Got some shirts, and we should really try to get the hoodies when the summer ends.
Yes. The thing with
Yeah.
hoodies is hoodies are very large. They're very heavy. The way that we're doing shirts right now, we buy all of our stock up front. So we might have to switch to a different system for at least the clothing section of merchandise. So give us a little bit of time to figure out how that, how we could make that work out, because we don't have room to we barely have room for the t-shirts.
Yeah.
Hoodies might be another issue altogether. So we're figuring it out.
We're figuring
Hats
it
too.
out.
Because Shopify shows me when people are searching for things and they don't find it.
Oh.
So people search for hoodies constantly. So
Yeah, for sure.
we hear you.
We'll figure it out in time for the colder weather. You don't need a hoodie right now.
No.
You don't. You're good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so tune in next week for the next podcast. Tune in, for kill counts. Oh, you'll get them. You'll get them. Yeah. And rate and review this podcast on whatever app you're listening to, especially iTunes. That's a good one.
Yeah.
But until all that stuff, I'm James.
I'm Chelsea.
And this has been the Dead Meat Podcast.